Lifting weights has changed my life. It transformed me from a shy, skinny 17-year-old boy into this strong, confident 36-year-old man. You don't need to wait 19 years or work as hard as I did to get results like this though, because today I'm going to share the 10 most important lessons I've learned. I'll reveal all the mistakes I made and tell you the brutal truths I wish someone told me sooner. We'll start with the basics, then build up to the more advanced stuff. So whether you're just getting into the gym or you're an experienced lifter, I'm confident this video is going to save you a lot of time and wasted effort. So turn off your notifications, full screen this video, get comfortable, and let's lock in, lads. Number one, just start. I don't think anyone has ever regretted walking into a gym and picking up a weight, so why would you? Gym anxiety, or gymxiety as I like to call it, is a real thing. But to prove that you don't need to worry about it, let me tell you about an experience I had in a gym last year that I don't think I've ever spoken about on camera before. I was using the seated cable row machine when all of a sudden the cable snapped. I backflipped off the bench and landed upside down with my butt in the air. And as I was lying on the cold gym floor, I genuinely considered changing my name and emigrating out of sheer embarrassment. But after what felt like 7 years, a guy finally helped me up. Do you know what was crazy though? Despite 50 people being in the gym, only 3 of them even looked over. And within 5 seconds, they were all doing their own thing again. The point is, no one cared. Everyone's too wrapped up in their own life to care about yours. Scrolling on their phone, checking out that hot girl, or just making sure that they don't make a tit of themselves, just like I had. The truth is, most people in the gym aren't following a program. They're winging it. They don't have a clue what they're doing. So they certainly don't care about what you're doing. And the thing with gymxiety is that it never really goes away. I travel a lot these days and I'm always in a new gym. I'm recording this video on the 5th of April and I've already worked out in 5 different gyms this year alone. And guess what? Every time I walk into a new gym, there's a bit of anxiety there. And that's after nearly 20 years. People are afraid to say man up these days, but honestly, I think that's the best advice I can give you. I'm not trying to convince you that you have to become a gym bro, but it's harder to think of something that you can do that is so transformative for every area of your life. Because as your body changes, so does your mind. The gym doesn't just build resilience, it destroys our self-imposed limiting beliefs. It gives you authentic confidence in your capability as a man. And if the price I have to pay to get that is lifting heavy circles for 3 or 4 times a week, sign me up. Apparently the gym makes you a philosopher too. Number 2. Stay natural. I get the temptation. You see someone on Instagram your age with veins across their abs that look like Google Maps and arms that look like they've been carved out of stone. It's normal to start thinking, maybe I need a boost, but you don't need PEDs. And if you're even slightly on the fence, don't do it. Because over the last few years, I've had at least a dozen conversations with guys who've opened up about their experience of taking gear. And do you know what every single one of them said? They regret it. Not just because of the physical stuff, although, yeah, the acne, the gyno, your balls shrinking, that stuff is real. But it's the psychological effects that no one talks about. The mood swings, the body dysmorphia, and the fact that once you see yourself on gear, you're never happy natural again. You start chasing a version of yourself that isn't even real. And the worst part is, most of these guys don't look any different. They thought they were going to turn into Thor, but they just got a bit puffier and a lot more paranoid. You still have to know what you're doing in the gym, and most importantly, you still have to do it. There is one exception, TRT. If your test levels are chronically low and it's been prescribed by a doctor, that's a different conversation. That's not performance enhancement, that's quality of life. Frankly, being honest with you, it's not something I've ruled out in the future. But for the average guy in his 30s or 40s who's just trying to build a body he's proud of, you don't need gear. You need time, structure, and consistency. And trust me, when you build it naturally, you own it. You don't owe it to a needle. Just you, your discipline, and a stack of iron. All right, rant over. Let's talk about how you actually train in a way that builds a strong athletic body without wasting your time on ab circuits. Number 3, structure, intensity, and intentionality. If you want to build a body that looks strong and athletic, you need structure. Winging it is a great way to stay exactly where you are. And the truth is, most guys in the gym are doing exactly that. They walk in, do a few random exercises, maybe hit some curls and some crunches, and then leave wondering why their body hasn't changed in 6 months. Let me save you some time. You want a plan that's built on a few key principles that are easy to remember and follow. First, we want to focus on compound movements like the ones on the screen right now. Squats, deadlifts, presses, rows, pull-ups. These are the movements that hit multiple muscle groups at once and give you the most bang for your buck. They also burn the most calories, which means you're maximizing your muscle gain and your fat burn at the same time. Don't get me wrong, accessory work has its place, but if you're spending more time on ab circuits than you are on these compounds, your priorities are backwards. And actually, while I remember, let's clear something up while we're here. Ab workouts don't give you abs. fat loss does. If you want your abs to show, clean up your diet and drop your body fat. If you want them to pop, build a strong core through compound movements and occasional direct ab work. But don't waste 30 minutes a day doing crunches and planks thinking it'll carve you a six-pack. And when you're doing those big lifts, prioritize lighter weight with higher reps with good form. Why? Because good form builds muscle, whereas bad form causes injuries. You're not lifting to impress the guy on the bench next to you or the hot girl over there who's not even paying attention to you. You're lifting to get better. Every man and his dog does 3 sets of 10, and that's exactly why they look the same year after year. So double down and do 4 sets of 20, use lighter weight and better form. You should be controlling the weight. The weight should not be controlling you. So master the movement first, then build the weight. Once you've got your exercises locked in, the next step is tracking your lifts. Because if you're not tracking, you're guessing. And guessing leads to plateaus, injury, and frustration. Tracking takes the guesswork out of the equation, which means you can review your progress with actual data rather than your emotions. I build personalized programs for all of my clients on an app called Heavy, but you can download the app for free and check out some of the generic plans that they have. They are generic, so they are cookie cutter, but it's better than nothing, and the app itself is incredibly intuitive. It shows you exactly what you lifted last time, it's got a built-in rest timer, and loads of other cool features. But listen, I am not sponsored by the app. I don't gain anything from you downloading it. I'm just telling you that over the years, I've tried a lot of apps, and this is the one that's getting me and my clients the best results. And speaking of results, we need to talk about the most important part of training, progressive overload. This is the principle that your results hinge on. And to explain how it works, let me tell you a story about Milo and his bull. Now, full disclosure, I have no idea if this is a true story or an urban legend, but it's pretty cool. Basically, this dude called Milo had a baby bull, calf? Anyway, for some reason, he carries this calf up a hill every day. Not sure if he's mental, but whatever. As the calf grew gradually, so did Milo's strength. And by the time the calf became a fully grown bull, Milo was strong enough to carry it on his shoulders. So you see, as the weight slowly increased, his body had no choice but to adapt. And that's how you get stronger and fitter. What I've just described is called progressive overload. And here's how it works. When you lift weights, your muscles get used to the effort. So to keep building strength and get bigger muscles, you need to either lift heavier weights over time, do more reps, like instead of 10 squats, try 12 next time, or do an extra set. It's all about small, measurable improvements week after week. And I've got good news for you. You don't need to carry a bull because nowadays we have gym memberships. All right, now you've got the blueprint. Let me show you the biggest mistake that derails most men. Number 4, make a plan and stick to it. This is one of the biggest reasons guys get stuck. They start a program on Monday, but by next week they're trying something completely different because they got bored or didn't see results. One guy genuinely messaged me the other day and said, I've been following your advice for 3 days and nothing's happened. I honestly couldn't believe it. 3 days? The truth is, you don't need a new plan. You need a goal and you need to commit to it for 3 to 6 months. Patience and focus are key here. Changing your workouts every week is like planting a seed only to dig it up every few days to see if it's grown. That means sticking to one program long enough to actually give it a chance to work. Because progress doesn't come from constantly chasing exercise variety. It comes from locking in and learning exercise mastery. Because exercises aren't just exercises, they're skills. And the only way to get better at a skill is repetition. You want to be so good at an exercise that you have a real mind-muscle connection. So don't ask yourself, what should I do next? Ask yourself, how can I get better at what I'm already doing? Because every time you jump ship, you hit reset. You lose momentum, you lose consistency, and you lose results. And this is where so many guys go wrong, especially if they're perfectionists. They watch another YouTube video that tells them they should be doing a specific exercise, so they tear up the plan they've been following and start doing that instead. They're looking for the holy grail of workouts, but I've got news for you. It ain't out there. Just like your diet, the best program is the one you'll stick to because consistency beats perfection every single time. If you hate every second of your workout, it's only a matter of time before you give up. Even an average program done consistently will outperform a perfect one that you can't stick to for more than 10 days. So stop chopping and changing. Pick a goal, find a routine that you enjoy, and back yourself to follow through. Because when you enjoy what you're doing, you'll naturally stay consistent, and consistency is what drives real results. Now that we've covered the basics of what to do in the gym, let's talk about the 3 key things you need to prioritize outside of it if you want to maximize your results. Number 5, know your calories and macros and stick to them. If you want to cut fat, you need a calorie deficit. There's no way around that. So take your goal body weight in pounds, multiply it by 12, and that will give you a solid starting point for your daily calories. If you want to focus on building muscle, add 10% to your maintenance and no more. Most guys bulk way too aggressively, then wonder why they just look fatter in bigger clothes. And if you're not sure where to start, whether you should cut the fat or bulk, if you're stuck in the middle, cut the fat first. Your body will be far healthier and more efficient when you're lean, and you'll put on muscle way easier that way. But whichever path you choose to go down, track your food for a few weeks, especially if you've never done it before. You will be shocked by just how much you are overeating without even realizing it. You don't need to weigh your spinach. Just be mindful of how much fat and carbs you're loading onto your plate, because that's where the calories add up fast. And steer clear of liquid calories like smoothies, booze, and whatever garbage Starbucks are selling these days, frappa, mocha, Dicacino. Number 6, prioritize your sleep. Sleep is the single most underrated performance enhancer on the planet. And I say this as someone who spent years getting it wrong. Back when I first started training, I thought staying up till 1 a.m. scrolling on Instagram and then downing a pre-workout at 5 a.m. made me dedicated. But all it did was ruin my recovery and tank my testosterone, because you don't get bigger and stronger in the gym. You grow in your bed. There's a joke in there somewhere, but let's just move past that. 7 hours solid sleep should be a non-negotiable for you, because it's not just about getting enough sleep, it's about getting enough good quality sleep. So if you're struggling with this, here's my simple 4-step plan. Try to eat 3 hours before bed so your body has a chance to process and digest the food in your stomach. Cut yourself off from liquids 2 hours before so you're not getting woken up in the night by your tiny bladder. Put your phone down 30 minutes before bed, and make your bedroom as cold, dark, and boring as you can. Number 7, walk every day. This is the most underrated fat loss tool you've got. Most guys overtrain in the gym and undermove outside of it. Walking helps to burn calories and lower your stress by turning on your parasympathetic nervous system, which is just fancy talk for your chill mode. Back when I worked in an office, I started doing 20-minute walks at lunch just to escape the screen. I didn't really think too much of it at the time. Truth be told, I didn't even mean to do it. I just wanted to get the away from my desk. But then I realized that I felt calmer, my digestion was improving, and my fat loss sped up without changing anything else. That was all I needed to become the latest advocate of getting your steps in. And now I try to make 8 to 10,000 a day a non-negotiable habit. You can do it with a dog, a podcast, or a mate, but however you do it, just get it done. Once you've nailed the basics, the next step is to make sure that your training is actually working for you and not against you. And this is where most guys go wrong. So let's finish up the video by talking about some more advanced stuff. Number 8. Don't overtrain. If you're new to lifting, 3 full body sessions a week is more than enough. Seriously, you will be amazed how much progress you can make if you structure your sessions properly and train with intensity. Don't let TikTok convince you that you need to train 7 days a week or sleep in a squat rack. Start with 3. Once you build some momentum and you're feeling confident, move up to a 4-day upper-lower split. And if you really want to take it to the next level, go with a 5-day push, legs, pull, lower, upper. That's what I use with my most advanced clients. But honestly, very few men need to push themselves to 5 days a week. And no man, especially if you're over 35, needs to train more than 5 days a week. You are not a 22-year-old influencer on a cocktail of Mexican supplements. Like most of the guys I work with, I expect you've got a busy, stressful job, kids running around, and a demanding missus. What no one talks about is the fact that the more you train, the more the law of diminishing returns kicks in. More training equals more fatigue, more stress, and more joint pain without any more results. You get less bang for your buck, and you end up digging yourself into a deeper hole that you can't recover from. So train hard, train smart, but then recover, because progress comes from stimulus plus recovery, not sweat and soreness. Number 9, find the exercises that work best for you. Not every exercise works for every body. We've all got different levers, limb lengths, joint angles, and injury history. So don't force yourself to squat ass to grass if it wrecks your knees. Ass to grass, arse to grass. Ass to grass works better, doesn't it? And don't barbell bench press if you feel it more in your shoulders than you do your chest. That's not working through it. That's just being stubborn. You don't get extra points for doing the hardest version of a lift. You get the points for doing the smartest version for you. I'm 6'4" with long legs. Barbell squats have never felt particularly comfortable for me. So I swapped it out for a hack squat machine a few years ago, and now I get better results with less pain. So you want to make the movement fit your body. Don't try to force your body to fit the movement. And last, but certainly not least, number 10, don't skip leg day for 10 years. Guilty. From 17 to 27, I treated leg day like it was optional. And the only thing I built was excuses. But here's what I learned. Training legs isn't just about building bigger quads or squatting heavy weight. It improves your posture, it protects your knees and hips as you age, it boosts your testosterone, it makes your whole body look a lot more balanced and athletic, and it burns a ton of calories because your legs contain the biggest muscles. Plus, I don't know what it is, I can't quite put it into words, but a good leg session just hits different. It gives you a swagger. You move better. You feel stronger. You carry yourself differently. And if you're a runner, probably one of the best things that you can do for your running is train your legs. I can't speak to this personally, but I've worked with countless guys who've told me that they felt like they've got springs in their feet when they run after one of my leg sessions. So don't be that guy who trains chest and arms 4 days a week and wonders why his jeans doesn't fit right. Respect the legs, lads. They'll pay you back in confidence, power, and real-world strength. Those are the 10 most important lessons I've learned from lifting weights for nearly 20 years. We covered a lot today though, so here's a quick recap for you. Number 1, just start. No one cares what you look like in the gym, so get in, pick up a weight, and get to work. Number 2, stay natural. You don't need gear. Build it yourself and it will last a lifetime. Number 3, structure, intensity, and intentionality. Follow a plan, track your lifts, and train with purpose. Don't just go through the motions. Number 4, make a plan and stick to it. Stop program hopping. Lock in on one goal for 3 to 6 months and play the long game. Number 5, know your calories. You can't out-train a bad diet. Track your intake and don't drink your calories. Number 6, prioritize your sleep. You grow outside the gym, so treat sleep like a training tool, not an afterthought. Number 7, walk every day. It's not just cardio, it's recovery, fat loss, and therapy rolled into one. Number 8, don't overtrain. 3 to 5 sessions a week is plenty. More isn't better. Better is better. Number 9, train for your body. Choose exercises that fit your build and give you pain-free progress. And last, number 10, don't skip leg day. Strong legs build a strong body and they'll carry you further than you think. Listen, if you made it this far, you're clearly serious about changing your body, but you don't need to figure all this out on your own. If you want me to build you a personalized workout and nutrition plan that fits your life, your body, and your goals, just click the link under this video so you can find out exactly how my coaching program works and see the results it's helped other guys just like you to get. This could be the moment that everything changes, or it could just be another video that you watched. I'll leave another video up here in case you're not convinced, but ultimately it's up to you.